Hi, everybody. The left's biggest fad this summer, and there's a lot of them, but it's demanding the total abolition of ICE, America's Immigration Enforcement Agency. There have been protests against it all over the country.
Say it loud, say it clear. ICE is never welcome here. Move, ICE, get out the way. Get out the way, ICE, get out the way.
Abolish!
ICE!
Abolish!
ICE!
Abolish!
ICE!
You know, it may be starting protests, but abolishing ICE doesn't seem to be a political winner for Democrats, even though there's legislation working its way through the House. You have a new poll by Fox that shows only 18% of voters want to abolish ICE, while 42% are opposed. Among those familiar with what ICE actually does, well, the gap is even bigger. 27% want ICE abolished, 57% want to keep it around. So it's no surprise that in Congress, Democrats are backing off. Republicans are calling their bluff. They're saying, okay, we'll vote on this. And Mark Pocan of Wisconsin, you have a bill? Let's vote on it. It'll be great. Well, it turns out if you put the bill forward, they say it's a trap. We're going to vote no. Can you imagine writing legislation and voting against it because someone gives you an opportunity to have votes for it? Cesar Vargas is an immigration attorney and joins us right now. Cesar, what's going on? Are these just games being played in Washington? What should we be talking about instead of abolishing ICE?
Well, there's obviously Democrats are playing the political game. Republicans are also playing the political game. The Republican Paul Ryan also knows that many Republicans who are vulnerable, whether it's in Miami or in California, are also going to be in a tough spot. So both of these parties are playing this game. What we really should be talking about is why immigration enforcement exists, why ICE exists. There's two operations there. It's the Enforcement Deportation Force, and then there is the Homeland Security Investigators. Even the agents of HSI have said that we want to abolish ICE because it's taken away from our important job of investigating transnational gangs. Who wants to deport a college student? Who wants to deport a day laborer that's probably working in your house or in some of your viewers' house? Those are the conversations we need to talk about. And the real conversation is about immigration reform to ensure that we are securing our borders, but also providing a path to citizenship for immigrants.
But what ICE is doing, in Cesar, is just enforcing the laws that are on the books. So if you've been here 10 years and you've skipped out and going to your hearing or going through the legal process, and ICE comes across you, should they just walk away?
Just as a state trooper lets the person driving 70 miles per hour on a 60 mile per hour road, lets him go, and he pursues the one that's speeding 100 miles per hour. There's discretion there because obviously the state troopers cannot pursue every single person.
I'll take your example a little bit further. If it turns out that person is in a car that didn't belong to them, it's going to be the problem. You're not going to keep that car, then they're going to look into your background. So going 10 miles over the speed limit may or may not get you a ticket. I went going over 12 2 days ago. I got a ticket, but I don't want to talk about myself. Do you think if we're trying to get to the bottom of immigration reform, do you think it's responsible for Mayor de Blasio, Kamala Harris, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who just won that big election in New York, to do that? Doesn't it make your job harder when we're making the bad guys law enforcement?
No, I think there is bad guys in law enforcement.
Do you know how much they're making? They're making $60,000 to walk out with a Kevlar vest every day. And in Philadelphia, they're sitting having to be screamed at and spit on.
But then again, listen, we have an issue. We don't have an issue with law enforcement actually using its resources to investigate violent crimes and keeping us safe. But there is an issue when a law enforcement officer wearing ICE or NYPD or whatever law enforcement harasses U.S. citizens because of their harassing U.S. citizens because they think they're undocumented based on the color of the skin. There is an issue when ICE agents sexually molest immigrants in detention. So there is issues there about that.
Do you think that this is pervasive? Do you think that ICE agents are walking up to people they think are Hispanic and asking for their papers?
Yes, it is. And it's happening across the country. U.S. citizens have been deported. That is the question at this moment because we want to make sure that we are keeping our nation safe, but we also want to make sure hold accountable our immigration and law enforcement.
Do you think sanctuary cities are making, and I challenge you on that because I just spoke to the acting head who just retired and he says that is not true, but do you think that the law enforcement officers should or should not enforce people here who have overstayed their visas?
Absolutely. I think the NYPD or the LAPD or any police department in any city should focus on fighting crime in their community. And they should be building relationship with their immigrant communities to ensure that we are investigating violent offenses. Is it a crime
to overstay your visa or be here illegally?
It's a civil offense. It's just like getting a parking ticket.
Should you be allowed to come here while other people that you may know that pay for green cards go through the process, wait in line, do the paperwork? Is it fair to them?
It's not fair for anyone, and I think this is why we're here. We are having a conversation of why both parties have not enacted immigration reform.
I think we agree with that. Whoever, after this election, they got to start working this out.
Absolutely.
All right. Good to see you, CJ.
Thank you so much,
Have
Brian.
a great weekend.